Tango, Gulf Islands, North Pacific.
791-783, returning, you're a little harder to hear now on this frequency.
Here, how's that? That should be a little bit better, huh?
Okay, you gotta come up to 5S units, Roger. I do have a decent copy on you this time. Personal on this side is Mike. Mike India Kilo Echo. QTH is Seward, Seward, Alaska. I'll spell that. Sierra, Sierra, Echo, Echo, Whiskey, Whiskey, Alpha, Alpha, Romeo, Romeo, Delta, Delta. Seward, Alaska. QSL.
Yeah, Seward, Alaska. You betcha, man. Q5 on you. I swung the house around, and I'm pointing due kind of north-northwest. I'm down here off the extreme southwest coast of British Columbia, out here on the southern Gulf Islands. So, yeah, you'd be north-northwest to me there, sounding real good. Q5, you got Joe on this side, Mike, Juliet, Oscar, Echo. Hey, bring back your numbers again. I'll write down your numbers.
Okay, that's on that, Joe. Okay, it's 783, Polar Bear 783, but I just kind of dropped the Polar Bear there because I do commute back and forth to Arizona, and they think I'm kind of silly when I come down there and say Polar Bear, so we just dropped the Polar Bear, and I used the 783.
Oh, yeah, no, I've talked to you before. I've definitely talked to you before a few times. This is Joe down here on Salt Spring Island, Southern Gulf Islands. I used to go by UDX. UDX 791. I'm 9 Alpha Tango 791 now. I did join the Alpha Tango group out there in Italy. So, but yeah, you're blasting in here from Alaska. My wife and I were up in Alaska the first week, or actually second week of May, we were up in Alaska, QSL.
Roger, whereabouts did you go to when you were up here?
Juneau, Skagway, Ketchikan, and then over to the glacier. We did the cruise thing. She's never been on one. I've been on that's probably my 5th one up that way, and it's beautiful. The countryside is beautiful up there.
Roger on that. Yeah, that's way southeast of us there. We're on the mainland up here. I can't go any further to the south here. I'm at the end of the road there. I go any further and I'll be in the water there swimming or in a boat one way or another. It's the end of the road. We are pretty limited on roads in this area.
That's like even in, I think it's Ketchikan or, yeah, Ketchikan. Or Juneau. I don't know if there's any roads that actually go to those places from over in the mainland, right? I think they're kind of separated too down there on the southern end of the Panhandle. I know Skagway you can drive to, but I don't know if you can actually drive to Ketchikan or Juneau.
Negative, you cannot. There's several areas in there. Let's see here. I'm trying to. I just drew a blank on the other one there. There is no. It's either airplane or boat. No other way in there.
Yeah, no, I love Alaska. Like I said, I've been up there quite a few times up the Panhandle, and my wife really did not want to go on a cruise, but I talked her into it. I said, you'll love Alaska, because she loves the scenery, right? She's into that stuff in nature, and it is beautiful. She liked it so much, she's booked another one for next May, because she wants to go back to Alaska.
Roger that. Sound like you created a monster there. Now she's going to keep you broke running back and forth on them cruise ships.
That's true, but boy, the food is sure good, man. I love eating, and thank God I don't gain weight, but I love the food up there. It's like 5-star every day for a week, and you know, we get good deals through Costco Travel. We get it through Costco, the travel agent, and man, we got a banging deal for a week for both of us, and it included a whole bunch of stuff too. So she found another deal. So she says, Joe, I booked a cruise, so May 3rd next spring we're up there again.
Well, maybe you ought to take and come up. There's all kinds of cruise ships come in here to our town. There's several hundred of them a year come in. Sometimes there's 3 of them in here. And it's a typical tourist town, but there's a lot to do here. A lot of neat scenery, and you can go on charter airplane rides. You can take and hike up on a glacier. There's all kinds of things you can do in this town.
Oh, that's so cool. So are you kind of north of Sitka then? Are you not that far from Sitka? I know Sitka's an island, but are you close to that?
Negative. On the mainland up here. I'm just south of Anchorage, southwest of Anchorage, about 130 miles.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Cruise ships do go up there for sure. And it's really good for the economy, I tell you that. I know some of those places where the cruise ships go in, like Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, must be pretty darn quiet in the wintertime.
Yes, the day after Labor Day, they roll up the streets, we say here.
I think a lot of those guys are kind of like seasonal too, the vendors and the people that own shops around where the cruise ship terminal is. We kind of went off the beaten track and went away from the terminal, but you know, we did go around and check out some of the shops, and oh no, she really enjoyed it. And you know, it's funny, the scenery really does look a lot like south coast of British Columbia as well. The vegetation and everything that grows up there, it's amazing. You know, we were in Ketchikan, and she couldn't believe the size of the rhododendrons, how big they were. And when you think of a rhododendron, you don't really think of Alaska. You think of them more of a temperate climate. Well, it is actually quite temperate there on the Panhandle.
Yes, it's a lot warmer than it is here on the main area where I'm at. The temperature for the last few days has been in about 30 degrees, 29, 30 degrees here Fahrenheit. And that's a little on the cool side. I am a snowbird, so I do travel out of here in the wintertime to Arizona for 4 months. I leave first week of December this year.
You're a smart man, smart man. You know, my wife's mother used to do that, and then once you become too old, the travel insurance just kills you. So she had a house down there in Sun City, a condo, so she'd go down there for 6 months every year. But I think when she turned 80 or 81, her travel insurance for 6 months from $2,400 went to $4,800 there, QSL.
Oh, mercy. Yeah, that's a little spendy.
Yeah, so she ended up selling it. It's too bad. I've never been down to Arizona, but my wife's been down there lots, and she's heading down to Sedona in March.
Oh, Roger. Yeah, I've passed through Sedona. I'm over on the west side there, right across the river from Laughlin, Nevada, the little town of Bullhead City. But, yeah, I go to, it's about 3 hours, 3.5 hour drive on the interstate 40, going across Sedona, and I've been there quite a few times. It's a very expensive tourist-oriented place.
That's what I've heard. So her friend goes down there for the winter, and she rents a house in Sedona. So she's invited my wife down. So my wife just has to pay the plane fare, but she's got a place to stay in Sedona for, I don't know if she's going for a week or two or whatever, but she's got free accommodations, which helps.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, I'll give you an example. My lady friend and I went down there, and we went through and did the tourist thing, and we were going to spend 3 days in Sedona, and we tried getting a hotel room, and there was about 4 days into spring break for the college kids coming down here and there, and the snow had the I-40 shut down for a week because it does get snow down in that area. And the cheapest, the only room we could find in a hotel was $1,125 a night.
Holy diner, are you kidding me? Oh my God, that's too much for me.
Well, it was too much for me too. I said, the hell with this. We'll drive till we find another place. So we go about 40 miles over towards Payson, and we found another hotel, and it was $250. So we took that one, and so we spent the next 2 days driving back and forth. But for that amount of money, I could afford to drive.
Oh, absolutely, man. It wouldn't even cost you that much on gas. That is like highway robbery, man. I'd be looking for the first Motel 6 if they still have them.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when that was the only room that was available. They had one, and if you go out to Sedona, if you make it down there, drive up to go to the airport, and you'll see nothing but Learjet, the big ones. There's a $1 billion industry going on in there, and
There goes conditions. Yeah, that sounds like a beautiful place, but man, I could never afford to live there. I tell you, man, it sounds like for more the upper class, that's for sure. Hey, Mike, sounds like conditions are dropping out of there, buddy. Looks like propagation's kind of bottomed out. If you can still hear me, hey, Polar Bear 783 up there in Seward, Alaska. Always a pleasure to talk to you. And have a good time down there in Arizona. If we don't talk to you before then, I'm sure we'll contact you down in Arizona because I've talked to you down there too. Cheers in 73s from 9 Alpha Tango 791 on the Gulf Islands, if you can still copy. And that's how propagation goes. Gone.